and welcome to Varsity Blue. Alex Prasad, David Now, Scott Wagner in for Adam Brewster this week, and I feel like we're in a time machine and we've gone back 2 years perhaps. But it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine again, at least.
It is great to be a Michigan Wolverine, but at the same time, as we've been saying over and over again, we've already seen this movie before, and it's eerily similar.
Is it similar, though? Like, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But
I mean, quantitatively it is. We're 2-0 again. It's the same thing. It feels different, but maybe that's just because Michigan fans are forgetting what they were feeling like after they beat Notre Dame last year. So
I'll tell you one thing, it was a struggle to find the players to feature in the intro for the show, and I think here, 2 weeks in, it should have just been all Denard.
Yeah. Probably a good assessment of
Probably
it.
just Denard. I mean, that's definitely been the story. Let's take a look at what happened in South Bend this past weekend. Right off the bat, Michigan playing a little bit undisciplined. Jordan's Kovacs with a personal foul right there. Dane Christ finding Kyle Rudolph for 18 yards. Rudolph had a monster Saturday on Monster Saturday. There's another catch right there. It gets down to the 1 yard line. This is Notre Dame's opening drive, moving the ball. It goes 13 plays, 71 yards. Notre Dame looked really good early, but Dane Christ injured on that QB sneak for a touchdown. Wouldn't see him for the rest of the second half. And there's Michigan's pitiful response. The Coger special. He dropped third down, short, easy catch. But then Tommy Reese comes in to spell Dane Christ, who had not a concussion but was out of sorts, and a tip, an interception by Jonas Mouton. And David, why this play now?
Well, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because first off, you see Brian Kelly, with a little foreshadowing here, but takes Reese out of the game very quickly. A lot of confidence to have in your freshman quarterback with one of his first plays from scrimmage.
And you can't do that against Denard. Fake run, finds J.T. Floyd, as the PA guy said, but it's actually Roy Roundtree for the touchdown, 7-7, tied midway through the first quarter. And it was really about Denard in this game. Little foreshadowing there. A fumble, but Vince Smith, great presence to fall on that one. And Michigan, it's a good thing, because right here Denard finds Martavius Odoms for a big catch right there, and then Stephen Hopkins' first career carry, 1 touchdown, 14-7 Michigan. Now here Michigan starting on its own 8, Denard Robinson breaking containment, big 36-yard run, but both these offenses kind of went into a lull here. Now here's Nate, yes, that's Montana, trying to throw one right there. J.T. Floyd has the interception, that time it is J.T. Floyd, but Michigan couldn't make anything of that either. Now finally, Michigan backed up on its own 4 with 3 minutes left in the half, kind of just looking to kill the clock. 7-yard run there by Denard, and then he breaks containment right here. A great downfield block by Roy Roundtree. You see him pancake that defensive back. 87 yards for the touchdown, a 21-7 lead at this point, the longest run in Notre Dame Stadium history. But Montana leading his guys back here. Not much time, but this was a preview of what was to come. Armando Allen with a shovel pass right here, and then a horse collar, personal foul on Jonas Mouton. Notre Dame driving late, just giving Michigan all sorts of fits, and then here, a big 37-yard catch to Theo Riddick, looked a lot like 2008. But then Nate Montana, last play of the half, found a cute girl in the side, in the crowd or something, and threw it to her instead. So 21-7 at the half. Second half, Notre Dame comes roaring back. Dane Christ comes back, finds T.J. Jones right there, 53 yards, closed the Michigan lead to 7. And then Notre Dame got the ball back after Michigan 3 and out, and Armando Allen with a 29-yard run. He stepped out of bounds there, also very similar to a previous Michigan-Notre Dame game. But it didn't matter. Didn't stop Notre Dame's momentum at all. On the next play, Chris is going to find Michael Floyd. I promise you, he will find Michael Floyd eventually. Coming up right here, across the middle, and then Floyd looks like Daryl Stoneham on a kickoff return. No one can catch the guy. This is pretty disheartening, David. Michigan missed tackles left and right. 3 big gains for Notre Dame in a row.
Well, especially watching this game on TV, you see Michael Floyd run from 5 yards past the first down marker and loop all the way behind the first down marker. It's just very disheartening.
And then Floyd again across the middle for 11 yards, but Michigan defense stiffens, holds them to a field goal. So it's 21-17 now. Look at the great video board there, the text board at Notre Dame Stadium. But Michigan would respond on the ensuing drive. Robinson to Roundtree right here on a bubble screen for 10 yards, and then 2 plays later, Robinson fakes it to the outside with the throw and decides to keep it himself, 19 yards, but the drive ended in a missed field goal. Then Dane Christ, all sorts of time, maybe too much time? Yes, Jonas Mouton tips it, Jordan Kovacs with the interception. It would have been Mouton's second pick of the day. Now, can Denard make anything of it? Eluding pressure right here. Finally, he finds Daryl Stoneham on just an absolute Tate Forcier prayer right there. But again, a missed field goal, this time a 40-yarder. And the sun came out, and it looked like that was a sure sign of luck of the Irish. Cam Gordon completely misplaying that ball. Kyle Rudolph, a 95-yard touchdown catch, puts Notre Dame up by 4 with 3:41 left in the game. It looked really bad at this point. 24-21. What's Denard going to do? Well, he's just going to take over. A 12-play, 72-yard drive. That's 12 right there. Denard counts for every single yard on this drive. Here, a big 4th down conversion, 4th and 1. You're not going to hear Notre Dame Stadium get any louder than this. He audibles at the line. He didn't do the Chad Henne audible, unfortunately. And then, of course, let's snap it 5 yards backwards to go 1 yard forward. But he does. 1st down, Michigan. And then he finds Roy Roundtree across the middle, a DB all over Roundtree right there. Would have been pass interference if it wasn't the 4th quarter. It didn't matter. He catches it. And how are you going to cap it? A Denard Robinson run. Why not? Touchdown right there. Eerily similar to the Tate Forcier rally. Only 27 seconds left. Game over. Let's go home. No more drama. You know, already had a heart attack at least a couple times during this game. No worries, right? Wrong. The same type of drive Notre Dame had at the beginning, or the end of, of the 2nd quarter occurs again. This time with Dane Chris, though. Finds wide open receiver right there. Prevent defense only prevents you from winning. Greg Robinson didn't get that memo. Again, this is Michael Floyd this time stepping out. And then a late hit by Cullen Christian on that play moves Notre Dame all the way down in the Michigan 27, but Dane Chris saves the Wolverines by throwing that same hot girl in the stands. Michigan escapes from South Bend with the 28-24 win, and Denard among the first run out on the field. And of course, the big story here, besides Denard resetting the single-season game record for most yards and the stunned Notre Dame fans, is that they did cut Denard's carries down. He only had 28 instead of 20. It's 29 against UConn, David.
Well, and you have to be a little bit concerned about that high carry count, but at the same time, these next couple weeks, you should see Denard Robinson with a very low carry amount. So it's all right. It's okay for Michigan fans. We can rest assured that Denard will be well rested going into Big Ten play.
We'll take a look at the box score in just a second, Scott, but is it possible to overstate Denard's influence on this game? I mean, he was the game. The entire game was about Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson has had 502 yards of total offense, and the rest of the team, 30 between Vincent Smith and Michael Shaw, and then the 1 carry by Stephen Hopkins. Everything was Denard Robinson. He didn't play defense. Who knows? Maybe we'll see that in future games. But it's very hard to think of a person starting his first 2 starts the way Denard Robinson has and dominating games like he has. It's just not something you see very often.
And you don't see it very often at all. And we're going to talk. Let's just talk about it right now. Let's take a look at this comparison between Vince Young and Denard Robinson. Of course, Vince Young had these performances in 2 Rose Bowls, one against Michigan, one against USC. And when you saw the first one against Michigan, you're like, oh man, Michigan just can't tackle. This is just, ridiculous. But the second one was against USC, and you said, oh, well, maybe this guy's on to something, right? The second one won in the national championship. If we can take a look at this comparison of Vince Young and Denard Robinson, that would be swell. Here we go. 2005 Rose Bowl, 16 for 28 for, this is Vince Young, of course, 180 yards, a touchdown, 21 carries, 192 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. That was a 38-37 victory over Michigan in 2005. And then you see his number from 2006 Rose Bowl, perhaps even more impressive. 2 less touchdowns, I suppose. Maybe not as impressive. But then when you compare those 2 Vince Young performances, the 2 most dominating performances I've ever watched, in person on my couch, anyhow, to what Denard Robinson has done, David, these games are similar. They stack up.
These numbers look very similar in terms of yardage count. And Denard Robinson, over 400 yards both on the ground and in the air so far this year. He's been very, very impressive. And when you put up numbers like you said, in the 2 most impressive games anyone's ever watched on their